grocery store. It's across from the hardware store, across from Coast to Coast.
Can we please stand for invocation?
Oops, sorry.
We can bow our heads, please. Our dear and gracious and holy Father in heaven, we love you, Lord, and give you thanks for this beautiful day. Thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for the board meeting that we have today. I ask that you would bless all of our leaders here in the city and the county. Give them direction. Let them make the right decisions, Lord. And just thank you for their leadership. Thank you for having them work together as a team. And let it be your will and let everything come together when the timing is right. In Jesus' name, amen.
Will the birthday girl please lead us in Pledge of Allegiance?
Ready, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I have roll call, please?
Director Nelson? Here. Director Reed?
Here.
Director Ford?
Here.
Director Amabil?
Here.
Director Serrato? Director Pacheco?
Here.
Director Pedroso?
Here.
Director McDaniel? Director Pereira?
Here.
Director Silvera? Chair Samra?
Present.
Thank you. And we do have a quorum.
She did? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Item number 2, this is approval of the agenda. Does anybody have any questions or entertain a motion for approval of the agenda?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? All in favor, sing by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, thank you. Moving on to item number 3. This is a public comment. Do we have any written comments come in? Okay, anybody from the audience wish to make a public statement at this time? Seeing nobody come forward, we'll move on to reports and presentations. At this time, where is Mr. Come on up.
Do you want to go to the,
We are going to go there.
can I take the plastic? Take the plastic. You get the good.
I got the mic for you. Oh, gotta slim it up a little bit.
He can make a speech if he wants. Hello, everybody. I just wanted to, on the behalf of the entire board, I wanted to appreciate and thank our former chair, Silvera, for doing a great job. He put a big thing for me to carry on with, but I'm going to try my best. And for that, you always done a great job, and thank you very much.
Want to take a picture? Perfect.
Do you wish to say anything?
I'll wait until my board member comments.
Okay, going on to Caltrans report. I believe we have Caltrans here, who I'm going to thank.
Oh.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good to see everybody today. A few announcements from California Department of Transportation. So first one is in the most recent CTC meeting, they approved over 150 new projects that will improve safety on the state highway system and strengthen infrastructure. Two notable projects in the North Valley. One is for the San Joaquin COG project, their State Route 99 120 connector project. They got $20 million to support Phase 1B of that project. And the other one is $2.7 million in support costs for the State Route 152 Velota Road intersection project in Merced County. The funding will be used for planning and implementation of a roundabout intersection safety improvement project scheduled to begin construction in 2028. The project will improve traffic safety and reduce fatal collisions along State Route 33 and 152 connector near the city of Los Banos. Next announcement, Caltrans recently received approximately $1.4 million in grant funding from the California Office of Traffic Safety to help expand and improve traffic data collection that will improve safety on the highway system. Caltrans analyzes a wide variety of data sets, so this additional funding will help us continue moving closer to better safety on the roadway. 3 funding opportunities. One is with the U.S. DOT. They have a call for projects for their fiscal year 26 competitive buses and bus facility program. Eligible activities include capital projects to purchase, lease, or rehabilitate transit buses and related equipment, and acquire, construct, lease, or rehabilitate bus-related facilities. Currently $610 million available for that, and the deadline is September 21st. 2 Caltrans grant opportunities. The first one is with the Local Highway Safety Improvement Program, also known as HSIP. This is federal and state funded availability for roadway safety projects aiming to reduce traffic fatalities and serious injuries on California's public roads. Projects must adhere to specific safety issues and be supported by local road safety plans. There's $370 million available for that. Deadline is November 2nd. And then the third one is the Caltrans Sustainable Transportation Planning Grant Program. Last cycle, MCAG was awarded $275,000 for their Merced Rural Suburban Mobility Hub strategy. So we're happy to meet with any of the cities or the county to review their application. And if you guys are applying, please reach out to us and submit your draft application so we can review it and provide comments and feedback before the deadline, which is October 9th. And one Merced County announcement. So recently, trash and encampment cleanup on State Route 99 and Childs Avenue was conducted by Caltrans with the help of CHP and the City of Merced. And then one reminder, I know like sometimes you guys work through staff or through me for issues, but just to remind you, we do have the Caltrans customer service request portal that you guys or your constituents can use for any issues along the state highway, and that's csr.dot.ca.gov. And then the last thing is next week, the Caltrans director, El Tawanzi, will be visiting District 6, which is our neighboring district to the south, on various things. And District 6 has invited our District 10 director, as well as Ms. Guzman, to have conversations with Ted Smalley with TCAG, as well as Patricia from Madera CTC, to talk about 99 stuff. So we're happy that they included us in those conversations so that we can keep the 99 initiative moving forward. That concludes my report. Unfortunately, I won't be here again next month. I'll be on vacation with my wife, but District 10 will be in person to provide the Caltrans report and take anything back. So happy to answer any questions at this time.
It's not so much as a question. Caleb, on 152 eastbound, the sign that notifies people that Delta Road is coming up, it got knocked down. And I know I just reached out to our public works guy maybe yesterday. So if you could just follow up with it on your end. I think are those signs I would imagine are part of Caltrans system, right? Even though it's for a county road, but if there's a sign that's on 152, it would be your guys' responsibility?
I'm not sure, but I'll look into it and we'll make sure that either us or the county gets that taken care of.
It's on the eastbound side.
Eastbound side.
That's all I had. Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions for Caltrans, Caleb? Seeing no one, I just want to thank you or Caltrans. The resurfacing of the ramps, it went very smooth. I know there was little issues with public notification, but it looks great. And also, a couple of meetings back, I mentioned some overgrown sunflower plants. You must have heard because the next day, those plants were gone. So once again, thank you very much.
Well, we have a lot of roadway, and so we rely on you guys and your constituents to identify those things that need attention so we can take care of them.
Right. Thank you very much. Mr. Prayer?
Yeah, so the stoplight at Gear and CA 165 and Hillmar is up and working. It's just a thank you. You don't have to make a note. But although it was a 7-year project, so if we could get that down to 5, we'd be happy next time. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
How come the mic is going off? Oh, anyway, on to the information items. So we have information items 5A, 1 through 8, 5B, 1 through 2, and 5C, 1 through 2. Any questions from members or staff? Anybody wish to for discussion? Seeing no one come forward, we'll move on to consent calendar. All consent calendars and items listed below and be acted by one vote unless they specifically removed from a separate consideration by a member of the board, member of the staff, or member of the public. We have the items 6A 1 through 2, 6B 1, and 6C 1 and 2. Does any staff member have any questions wish to pose? Anybody from the public wish to pull an item for discussion? Seeing no one come forward, I'll entertain a motion at this time. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Item 7, this is the action item 7A. Stacy?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This item is a request for the board to adopt by resolution the Measure V Corrective Action Plan for the City of Dos Palace. By way of just providing a brief summary that we were notified earlier this year that this.
Hold on a second.
Okay. We were notified by the City of Dos Palace earlier this year that there was a expenditure of Measure V local funds on ineligible non-transportation uses within the City of Dos Palace, which represented a breach of the Measure V funding agreement. And violated the terms of the measure program that the voters approved in 2016. So as the local transportation authority, MCAG responded by preparing the corrective action plan for the City of Dos Palace. Several conversations and discussions with the city occurred prior to the development of this plan. And it is really intended to be the guiding document to kind of have the terms and the and mutual understanding of what is necessary in order for the City of Dos Palace to come back into compliance with the Measure V program in relation to their local funding agreements with MCAG. So the process is to request that the board adopt the attached resolution 2026-82002. And that would approve the corrective action plan and direct staff to submit the plan to the City of Dos Palace. In the staff report on page 98 of the agenda, table 5 is copied out directly out of the plan, and it sets a timetable with the key elements that are being requested from the city. And that starts that within 60 days of submission, which would be within 2 business days of me of the board taking action on this document. So my intention would be to get that out tomorrow. That there would be that the agency would be provided a copy of the investigative audit that had been done last year. There'd be a financial reconciliation of their measure documents and records, and then there is language about local internal controls to have in place to prevent this from happening again at the city, and then to within 180 days have some type of a repayment plan, not repayment of the total, but some kind of, to this date, we don't have anything that says here's kind of what the plan is, and I know the city's been kind of working through that, but within 180 days to give the MCAG board some indication of kind of what the strategies that they'll have at their disposal to be able to work towards recompliance. The plan also outlines quarterly reporting. It also includes in the appendices and as attachments all of the forms and documents that the city would need to be able to comply with these. There's an additional form to go with your regular already that everyone has to do on a quarterly basis expenditure reporting, just to do a little extra oversight to make sure that the terms that we're establishing are being followed and there's appropriate oversight. I think that's it. I'm happy to go into more detail if required, or if desired, but the request is that this board approve the resolution, and which then will direct staff to finalize the document and distribute it or submit it to the City of Dos Palace within 2 business days of today's action.
Thank you. Board, any discussion? Mr. Pedrosa?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Stacy, can you remind me or explain the 180 days and why not 120 to come up with the plan?
So thank you, because as soon as I muted myself, I realized I should have pointed something out. When I had presented this plan in draft form to the board previously, the submission dates were half of what they are. And in discussion with council, it was recommended that in light of the difficulty of the situation that the city's facing, and with a corrective action plan that will outline compliance for them, giving them some additional time could be beneficial. I don't want to put words in council's mouth, but she already said it was her. So she told me to double the time.
I suggested that because this, responding to this corrective action plan will require the city to consult with, to take items back to the city council, given the times, the deadlines for submission of agenda items and staff reports. I felt it was prudent to give them additional time so that they could approve this at each step. So yes, that was my recommendation. I will say that the response we received from them initially, the first response, will largely dictate how we proceed with this going forward. So.
Explain that. What do you, so like if their response to this could change without our action?
No, we would come back to the board. At this point, we are approving the corrective action plan in open session, but additional discussions on this could end up in closed session. How they react to the corrective action plan may dictate our next steps, will dictate our next steps. There are deadlines, legal deadlines that would have to be met and considered in order for us to move forward. For example, there is a 1-year statute of limitations on filing a claim against a public entity for breach of contract. That's often different when it's a public entity against another public entity, but we need to be mindful of that moving forward. There are quite a few considerations to make here. So.
Thank you.
Anybody else on the board?
Yeah,
Mr.
I-
Silvera?
I think, and I agree with extending the deadlines. It's ultimately, I think it's been this board's intention is to work with the city of Dos Palace and give them a path forward. I think if the original timelines that we talked about, we probably were setting them up for failure to meet some of those deadlines. And so trying to be respectful that there's a lot of stuff going on in the city of Dos Palace, and I know that they're currently working through that. We want to give them every opportunity to be successful.
Anybody else on the board?
Yeah, no, and I'm okay with that. I was just trying to remember what our original discussion was, and I get it, and I want to work with them for them to be successful. I just wanted to get some clarification, so thank you.
Anybody else on the board? If not, I will go to the public. Anybody in the public wish to make a comment on this item? Do we have any written statements or? Okay, if not, then items now closed to the public. Board, any further discussion?
Chair, so we have a motion to approve item 7A.
I have a motion by Chair Silvera. Chair. Director Silvera, do I have a second? A second by Director Pedroso. May I have roll vote, please?
Council Kit, does she?
Director Nelson?
That's the reason I called for a roll vote.
Director Reed?
Hold on a second, hold on. Yeah, that's the reason I called for the roll vote.
Okay, that's fine.
Director Reed, it's within your discretion to decide whether you would like to vote on this item or not. If you would like to, okay, thank you.
Okay. Go ahead, a roll vote, please.
We'll go again. Director Nelson?
Yes.
Director Reed?
Yes.
Director Ford?
Yes.
Director Amabil?
Yes.
Director Serrato? Director Pacheco?
Yes.
Director Pedroso?
Yes.
Director McDaniel?
Aye.
Director Pereira?
I vote aye.
Director Silvera?
Sure.
And Chair Samra?
Yes. Thank you, item passed. Okay, item 8A, this is the, I'm sorry,
I'm going to do that one too.
okay, item 8, Stacy?
Thank you. I'm glad you didn't read it all out because I'm going to do it again, and it's a lot. So this is, I'm going to be, Elizabeth was at the CTC meeting today, so I am taking this item. It is just an update to notify of a change in our timeline. So as you know, we are wrapping up our RTPSCS season. That's our Regional Transportation Plan Sustainable Community Strategy. The public review period for our documents, and that is, and when I say our documents, it's our RTP SES, it's our draft environmental impact report, it's our draft 2027 federal transportation improvement program called the FTIP, and the draft air quality conformity analysis. So we release those all at different times based on the public review period requirements so that they would all conclude on the same date, which was on July 31st, 2026. At that time, when we developed our schedule, it was intended that the adoption of these final documents would be before the board at today's meeting, but we have pushed that action out to September due to situation outside of our control, but related to a delay in the federal action that is necessary to occur prior to board's adoption. So we pushed it back, so it'll be on the September agenda, but because our public documents initially had indicated that adoption would be today, we wanted to make sure the public knew that that adoption will actually be before the board in September. And I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Board, any questions? If not, then we'll close this item and we'll move on to item 9. This is an action item, 9A1
We're going to do both.
and 2, Navneet.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Navneet Matu with TJPA. TJPA is seeking approval from the board to enter into a contract with Pinnacle Petroleum for delivery of bulk fuel, lubricants, and DEF at the operations and maintenance facility to operate the transit vehicles. We released an IFB back in June, and we received 3 bids back, and Pinnacle was determined to be the lowest and most responsive of them all. This is a 3-year contract with 4 option years. Funding for this contract will be included in fiscal year 26-27 budget for $2.8 million with 5307, 5311, and LTF funds. And staff will be monitoring fuel prices annually and adjusting the budget as it reflects the market changes. We also had another item on this staff report for the fuel card program for the Los Banos fueling. Unfortunately, we had some issues with that one. We had ongoing negotiations and conflicts, and so we will be bringing that back next month to the board for approval. And yep, I'll be happy to answer any questions if you guys have any.
I just want to clarify because I think I misspoke when I had let the chair know that we would be taking 9A 1 and 2. We are only asking for action on 9A 1.
Right.
And 2 will be at a later date.
Yep.
So that was my mistake. So just an amendment there that the action requested, as Navneet already eloquently did, but my brain is just catching up. 9A
Is the
1.
9A1 to go with the contract with Pinnacle Petroleum.
Yes.
For the bulk fuel, lubricants, and DEF.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay,
Chair.
Mr. Pereira?
Thank you. How was the bid? I mean, I see the dollar amount, but what's are we paying so much over
We do go
base price, or how's it figured?
Yes, so we go with the OPIS pricing from Stockton, and the bidding comes up as the markup price on top of the OPIS. So the contract, whoever bid it, they bid it on the markup cost.
So the $2.021 $927 bid from Pinnacle is $2 million over our cost.
Yes, that's for 7 years, that's all. So that's for the total contract amount for the 7 years.
Including the 4-year options?
Yes.
The 4 1-year options?
Yep.
Okay.
The OPI is not included in that, and we budgeted 2.8, including the OPI for the first year.
2.8?
2.8.
Okay. Thank you.
Same question I had. I was trying to figure that out.
Anybody else from the
Oh,
board?
yeah.
Any
Come up with
questions?
that bid.
If not,
Move to approve.
well, I need to, yeah, yeah.
Well, after public comment.
Okay. This item is now open to the public. Anybody wish to make a comment? Do we have any comment? No? Okay, items now close the public.
Move to approve.
I have a motion. Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Thank you. Moving on, item number 10, this is the,
Clarification, do we need the other item we didn't consider, do we need to move to table that one until the next meeting, or?
No motion to table is necessary. It will just come back at a later date.
thank you. Okay. Okay, item 10A, this is the transit service planning priorities. Serenity, you're already up there.
Yeah. I'm going to just do a little kickoff, just kind of teeing this up. This is going to be a broader discussion. It'd be nice to me. It's my birthday.
Come on, come on, it's her birthday. Let her talk all she wants.
Yeah.
Let her put the staff to the side. Let her talk.
Yeah, I'm technically on the agenda for this item, so it is my birthday. Okay, Serenity's going to do a great job in laying out some pretty technical stuff, but I just wanted to set the stage because this is like dipping our toe in the water of a broader topic that we are going to spend some time on, starting with today, high level, but we will spend a lot of time. This is one of the key 3 issues that will be discussed at the board retreat in October, and it's something that's going to help guide, hopefully, board discussions moving forward. And the simplest way I can explain what we're wanting to build a foundation of understanding around is how a system cannot efficiently be designed to both pick the resident up that's at the edge of your service area, way kind of out there, that may be transit dependent but is just kind of out in a low population area, and then also have full buses. And we can't fill buses and then also expect to cover all the parts of the rural parts of our county. That for a transit system to operate really efficiently, you're either designing for the ridership to fill your bus, or you're designing it to reach as many people who need it. And often, no, I don't know that any system is designed expressly just one or the other, but there's somewhere in the middle. And why we think it's important is because, as Serenity will walk through, we'll see how decisions of this board can affect that, and we need, as a board, to have a better, are asking the board to develop a vision or a strategy with kind of what the fundamental goals are going to be, so that as we start talking about service decisions, we know, is it about reaching as many people, or is it about getting as many people on the bus and making the system as efficient as possible? And that's really difficult because, I know you all get calls that might say, hey, like, the bus used to come and pick me up. I live out, pick a rural area, and they don't do it anymore. And so we have those conversations, and when we say, oh, well, let's just go pick up that person, the buses are inherently not going to be able to fill with ridership if you're not making it efficient for the people who are in kind of the high corridor areas. And then the reverse is when we get a lot of comments about buses being empty. It's often because we're running services that are designed to pick up as many people in remote areas. So you may only have 8 or 9 riders, one passenger per vehicle hour or whatever, but we're covering a lot of the county. So philosophically, they're kind of 2 different values to build a system around, and we want to just start talking about that. So I know that wasn't brief, but that's what it is. There's a really good book. If anyone wants to know, it's called Human Transit. I'll buy you a copy if you want to read it. But Serenity's going to give you a kind of a foundation to start, and then we'll talk more about it in October. I'm muting myself. I'm done.
So like Stacy said, this is going to be a lot, so I hope you're all buckled up. And please feel free to jump in or hold questions to the end, whichever. But we're going to be covering a lot of things, and I'll try and do it as efficiently as possible as we're trying to do the same with our routes. So Mary Michael, if you could. So good, fast, and cheap, pick 2. I think a lot of people know this, this saying. We're kind of going with the same idea. You can't have all 3 realistically. So next slide. And what we're talking about is ridership coverage and retaining our current service hours, or even looking at a reduction in service hours. Again, like Stacy said, ridership and coverage are 2 competing values. It's not necessarily about picking one or the other, but picking the priorities. So when we talk about that, again, coverage means we reach more neighborhoods, more outlying communities. We provide essential accesses for those that need it. Very common in our more rural areas, but it is a higher cost per that individual passenger. When we're looking at ridership, we're talking about more frequent service, direct, shorter routes, increased ridership, and then also a lower cost per passenger due to that increased ridership. Next slide. So again, it's a dial, not a switch. We need to kind of pick where we're going to fall. Again, we need to pick a priority. Is it going to be the coverage, or is it going to be ridership? Coverage, again, we reach more places less often. Ridership, we concentrate our service to pick the highest rider corridors. Next slide. So again, the question really is our system useful? Right? So if you have a bus that's coming on a 60-minute frequency, you miss the bus, you have to wait, you're pretty much planning your entire day around the bus. If a bus is coming every 15 minutes, then you just walk out to the stop and the bus is going to be there in a few minutes, right? It's a lot more easy to live without a car. Okay, next slide. So when we're looking at our current service, and for this I'm mainly going to focus on Merced. It's where the bulk of our services are. We will talk about our commuters and outlying communities later, but again, that's where kind of our two competing priorities, and we need to find that balance. What we're doing in our urban areas is not necessarily what we're going to be doing in our outlying communities. They're going to be a little bit different. But again, Merced, we have 8 routes that service the city of Merced. About 15 buses daily, so that's what we're looking at here. And so again, our routes are spread broadly throughout the service area. They're a little bit too broad to be super useful for people, to be perfectly honest. And our ridership is constrained by this. However, we do have those better first mile, last mile connections. People don't have to walk, bike, skateboard, scoot, whatever, as far to get to the bus. So you can kind of see this on our current route map where we go into all the nooks and crannies there of all of our neighborhoods. So in the next slide, we'll look at a vision. This is just a demo. This is not anything set in stone, but this is utilizing our current routes, the same service area, but you can see that we increased, you see the red lines on the map, those are our high corridor routes. So those routes would be coming every 15 minutes, where right now our best route is coming about every half an hour. So so this would, again, higher frequency on those main corridors. It creates faster movement throughout the system, even though people might be transferring. We might have one route that turns into 3 routes in this scenario. But we might have longer first mile, last mile connections for some. So that person that used to be able to walk out to the end of the block might now have to walk 4 blocks to get to the bus, but that bus is coming much more frequently. Okay, next slide. So we're going to look at a few maps with some of this comparison. You'll see a little icon. Her name is Jane. And the dark blue shows the travel times and the population that we're able to get to in 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and 60 minutes. You can see it still there on the travel times. So on the left is our current services, and you can see that if Jane there is at Transpo downtown, in 15 minutes she can reach just shy of 5,000 residents. In 30 minutes she'll reach 30,000. 45 minutes she'll reach, oh, perfect, thank you. Maybe not. Nope. Huh? Sorry, technical difficulties. And I'm like, oh, there it is. Okay. So yeah. So again, these are these are the numbers that we're looking at. And again, so then if we go to a high frequency system, Jane again is at Transpo, and we're reaching twice as many people in 15 minutes. 30,000 to 52,000 in 30 minutes, and 67 to 72,000 in 45 minutes. And then again, 100 people in 60 minutes, but those are the less frequent riders that are using it to go those 60 minutes. Next slide. So same theory if Jane is down in South Merced. So again, on the left is our current services. Oop. I have power. And again, so you can see the increase 7,700 to 10,000, 11,000 to 29,000, 19,000 to 57,000, almost 58,000 there. So we're really able to reach a lot more people in a lot quicker time. But again, especially looking at South Merced, this is where with this vision of a map, we see the biggest changes. So right now we have the M1 that runs into all the little nooks and crannies of the south side. And this vision does a high frequency 15-minute route. And then it also incorporates a microtransit on top of that. So that microtransit would go into all those nooks and crannies, and if you're trying to travel, say you're at HSA and you're trying to get to North Merced, the microtransit is probably going to connect you to the high frequency route, and then that would connect you to Transpo, where you would connect to another route to go to North Merced. So it would be a few more transfers for people, where they're currently taking one bus and they're on that same bus for an hour right now, they might be transferring a bus 2 or 3 times, but they're only on the bus for 45 minutes, right? And it'll be on us, again, to educate the public and do this as we move into things like this. Next slide, please. Okay. And so again, we just wanted to go North Merced. She's up at Merced College now. And you can see, again, from about 2,700 to 4,100 in 15 minutes, 11,000 to 24,000 in 30 minutes, 38,000 to 54,000 in 45 minutes. So it really, no matter where she is in the city, it really just opens up the options and makes transit more usable for her. Any questions so far? We've covered a lot. Okay. Next slide. So this is just a quick breakdown looking at that, kind of pulling those numbers. So if you're at Transpo downtown, in 30 minutes, we're able to reach 74% more people. In 45 minutes, 7%. If you're down there in South Merced, you have the biggest jump of access. Again, even though it looks like you have the least amount of routes available and that route really shortens, it opens up the possibilities exponentially. So 154% in 30 minutes and 195% in 45 minutes. And then again, North Merced, Mercy, or Merced College was 115% or 41% in the 45-minute window. So again, no matter where you are, it really just opens things up. Next slide. So this is an example of the M1. So this is our current M1 route that tries to do all of the things, right? You get on this bus and you can be on it for a half an hour before you get back to where you start, or an hour and a half before you get back to where you began. Very, very long route, tries to do everything all at once. And so again, looking on the proposed, or the demo here to the right, it is 3 separate routes, right? We have the M1 here, but here it's broken into 3 separate routes. And showing Jane down there at, I think she's at Golden Valley right there, or close to it. So in 15 minutes, we do lose a few people, but this is also without the microtransit zone overlaid. So with that microtransit, we actually increase, but I wanted to show it just, again, breaking up those routes into quicker times and how that can improve the services. But so at the 30-minute mark is where we really start to see the increases from 9,000 to 14,000 people reached, and in 45 minutes, 15,000 to 32,000 reached. So next slide. So this is one of our commuters, the Turlock. As you guys are aware, we have recently lost just shy of $500,000 in funding for the Turlock commuter. It's due to some UZA changes with Stanislaus County and between Stanislaus and Merced counties, and them not funding any piece of the Turlock route anymore. So we started to take a really hard look at it and see how we could make the T route more efficient. And this is kind of what we'd be doing and looking at with all of our commuters if we kind of move to a more efficient service.
Could I ask just a quick question, because I don't want to forget about it later? So I talked to Supervisor Chiesa today and asked him why they stopped the funding. Mm-hmm. And so who's funding? Because he said he doesn't think Stanislaus County, the county, stopped the funding. So where'd it come from?
It's federal funding that's allocated to a UZA, which is
urbanized zoning area.
Was that you? Did you mute me? Okay. It's federal funding that is allocated to urbanized zones. So
which agency stopped it?
It was the census tract changes. It was the breakup of the UZA after the census. So the UZA used to spread over Merced and Stanislaus counties. So we had an agreement with StanCog that they would send us some of their money because we were also serving part of their UZA.
Yeah.
So NAV's going to clean it up. But it wasn't StanCog saying we're not going to give you the money anymore. It was that the UZA changed, the service areas changed, so we no longer were sharing that funding.
So it's 5307 money that StanCog allocates to City of Turlock. And so we provide 11.47% ballpark in the Turlock Stanislaus area. So we get 11.47% of that funding to our service since the UZA changed, since Delhi no longer falls in the UZA of Turlock. So we lose that funding. It wasn't, Stanislaus didn't say we're not giving you that funding. It just the way
Just so
the UZA was in the census where we lost the funding because Delhi no longer falls in Turlock's UZA. So I don't know if that's.
All are confused.
Yeah, and then I would say that we should go back and connect with either the city of Turlock, StanCog, or the county of Stanislaus, and we are taking our people to spend tax dollars in their county. So if they want to subsidize that, we should have that discussion. That'd just be my suggestion.
And Director Pera, we have had conversations with Stan
Turlock
RTA and Turlock about providing service into the pockets of Delhi instead of us providing it. And they're like, they're just like, well, funding, we got funding cuts as well. So we're gonna try to figure out a way where we could have a little happy medium. And I will say, we are applying for 5311 funds.
5311F.
5311F, up to $300,000, which when Serenity talks about the service modifications we do, the savings, plus our $300,000 will cover for that loss of funding that we have. And we could thank Director Serrato for some of the modifications.
For the redesign here, so again, on our commuters and the routes that run outside of Merced, it's going to be more about making some smaller changes that again just increase efficiencies. So in the T route, we looked at our ridership per stop and where we could just shave off a tiny bit of time here and there. So we found in Livingston, if we don't go down B Street, we're able to shave off. Honestly, it's about 2 to 3 minutes. It's not very much, but it all adds up when you're doing that 15 round trips a day. Then in Delhi, we went for a streamlined, again, we looked at the ridership. Over here on the east side of 99, we had very, very single digit ridership for the past couple years. And then on the west side, this little loop right in here, again, pretty low ridership in here. Our highest stop was at Delhi High School, and they're able to walk over to a stop that's right in here. It's a little bit over a quarter of a mile walk for them. And then we looked at Turlock, and again, decided that it would be the most efficient and the best use of the funds that we have to go directly to Turlock Transpo and not continue the whole loop around town. Again, each one of these changes doesn't save a huge amount of time, but overall it saves about 18 to 20 minutes per trip. So again, when you're doing that 15 times a day, it really does add up. 15 times a day, 254 times a year, it adds up. So with this, we are able to streamline the T route. We would go from 15 trips on weekdays to 13 trips on weekdays. Oh, where am I? I lost. There we are. So again, from 15 trips currently to 13 trips is what we would be looking at with these changes. We go from a 60-minute frequency to a 70-minute. Again, it's not our goal to increase our frequencies on any of them, but we looked at this and decided it was probably the best because what it does, it allows us to remove an entire bus from the T route that's operating all day, every day. So what we currently do with 3 buses at peak service, we're able to do 2 less trips with just 2 buses at peak service. And so again, it goes from 11,426 annual service hours to 8,547. So we're about to save about 3,000 service hours. Director Pereira, did you have a question? Oh, thank you. Okay. And again, our annual cost goes from a little over $1 million to $769,000. So if you're looking at this by a cost per passenger, Using 2025 numbers, I will say our T-Route ridership has increased in 2026 so far, but I wanted to use full year numbers. So I think the difference would still be there. It's just, again, it's a little bit lower than the 24-24 that we see. But we would, using 2025 numbers, we would look at 24 per passenger versus 17.92 per passenger using those same numbers. The average cost per passenger for a rural transit service is somewhere around the $10 to $19 an hour. So next slide, please. So to end, again, is our goal to provide a transit service that is available to more people or that is useful to more people? Those are the questions that we need to ask ourselves and make some decisions around. Sometimes tough decisions, but any questions?
Mr. Pedroza?
I'm sure you.
Thank you. Can you go back one slide, please? So when you say, how did I might have missed it.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get the $17.92 per passenger?
We had about, it was just over 42,000 annual passengers. So you divide the cost, the 1 million or the 769 by 42,592 passengers. I can get you the exact ridership for the year.
Yeah, so that doesn't. So the cost is the 769,000.
Yeah.
That's so per pass. How does so the per passenger is $17.92.
Mm-hmm.
What is that per service hour?
We're looking at our service hour cost with our contractor this year is approximately $89 an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's, and you said 41. How many passengers?
A little over 42,000 in 2025.
Is there any way to, and this is just probably thinking out loud, to think about how many people, is it just like one out of that number, are there repeat users?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and it would be difficult to get how many individuals we're talking about. Yeah. Again, I know looking at the services and the stops that we're looking to eliminate on the T-Route, the biggest impacts, I think, the biggest ridership impacts is going to be to Turlock itself. We have a lot of riders that get off at Monte Vista, some present company included, and a lot that get off at Stanislaus State. We want to make sure that we are going to be communicating to those passengers and letting them know that Turlock Transit is what they should be going to. We'll drop them off at Turlock where they can make those connections. For the Stanislaus State guys, they do ride Turlock Transit for free, so they just have to show their ID. It won't be any more of a financial burden to them. They'll just have to plan those connections. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If I could, I just want to add that specifically the changes to the T-Route cut the impact of the lost funding in half.
Yeah.
So we lost about $500,000 and change. So it's about, it helps us recover, or we're not recovering it, but it helps us kind of adjust to that funding loss by reducing it to about half of what it was.
And again, as Nav said, we're going after additional grants to fill the remainder of that gap.
Anybody else?
Yes. The new time estimate from Merced Transpo to Turlock Transpo is going to be?
I think we went from 144 minutes to 123 minutes.
One way from Transpo to Transpo.
Yeah, it's approximately 70 minutes, a little just under over. An hour? Yeah, just over an hour.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, because right now, if you leave Merced at 6:30, you're getting to Turlock Monte Vista at 7:30. I mean, to your point.
We got the times right here. So if we're leaving Transpo at 6:40, we'd be getting up to Turlock at 7:43.
Okay.
Yeah.
Under the new?
Yes. Yeah, in the new, right here. So we're leaving our Transpo at 6:40, getting up to the Turlock Transpo at 7:43, where right now, again, it is a 6:30 departure. That's where we went from 60 minutes to 70-minute frequencies. So it's a 6:30, and we get to Turlock Transpo at 7:50 currently. Yeah.
You got 20 minutes back to your life.
No, I'm a little confused.
No, that was like a meeting. You're going from 6:30.
We're going from 6:30 pickup to a 6:40 pickup for the one that Director Serrato is looking at, right? Just yeah. So 6:30 to 7:50 at Turlock Transpo currently, and we'd be going from 6:40 to 7:43 in the new proposed.
I just don't, as a, because currently you go 6:30 from Merced Transpo, and it gets to Monte Vista near the Safeway in Turlock at 7:30. So that's an hour.
It's like right in here is where the Monte Vista stop is, yeah.
But then Turlock Transpo is closer, but it's still and we're streamlining it, and it's going to take about an hour to get to Turlock Transpo. Seems
Yeah.
like it'd be a little.
Well, we're not going around the block there. We're just going we'd be going directly down Folkerth. So,
Correct.
yeah.
It seems like it'd be.
More.
It seems like it'd be a little maybe, I don't know, maybe a few minutes faster.
I mean, again, this system does use, you know, it plays it safe to say that. But, you know, before we do roll this out, we're running it in buses multiple times at different traffic times and speeds to tweak.
But the laws of physics, all of the other things would say that if we're traveling a shorter route with fewer stops, it's going to be faster.
Correct. That's my point.
Yeah. I think what you see is when it translates, what we put on paper is we don't want people to show up late. We'd rather them show up early, I guess. I guess that doesn't make sense either. The maps are just very generous in the time for.
We have to, again, because to do these calculations.
We're going shorter, more direct. So
yes, it'll be faster.
Yeah.
It should be, instead of 3 minutes slower, it should be.
I think the estimate's about 20 minutes.
Yes. Yeah, 18 to 20 minutes quicker. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, just for my opinion, this is a win in every way. It's a better service. It's faster. It saves $200,000+.
Yeah.
It's a win in every way.
And yeah, it's just little tweaks to really hopefully make the system and the route more usable for those that are using it. Yeah.
Okay, anybody else have any questions?
Just on that too, you have links at Turlock Transpo to get.
Yes, there are multiple. They have 7 routes in total. 3 of those go up to Stanislaus State, Monte Vista area that we won't be servicing any longer. Yeah.
And then a link with to get to the Merced or the old routes along Monte Vista, linking up with we talked about this.
Yeah.
Linking up with the 10 in Stanislaus County would be.
Yeah.
It serves that whole area, so you're in good shape. All right.
Anybody else? I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any numbers? How many people actually get off and get on at Monte Vista?
Monte Vista, just off the top of my head, I want to say, Nevneet might have some better numbers for me. She was looking at it earlier. I want to say Monte Vista was somewhere around the 2,000 annually. Monte Vista, our highest stop currently in Turlock is the Turlock Transpo. Second is Stan State. They're, I think, just shy of 3,000 annually. And then Monte Vista is the third most populous. And again, I want to say it was just over 2,000 passengers, but I can get you the exact numbers as well.
And at Rancho in Livingston, you have numbers over there, right?
In Livingston, the stop that we're eliminating, I think it was 126 people annually.
Yeah.
So it's one person every other day.
Well, if we eliminate Monte Vista, as you're saying, do you anticipate that people say, you know what, I come in here for shopping, whatever, and now I'm not going to be able to, I have to go there, I have to come back, it's more inconvenient. How do you anticipate that to be an impact?
I think that, yes, we may lose some riders that might say, ugh, I don't want to have to transfer buses and take Turlock Transit. And again, yeah, it's more of a burden or inconvenience, however you want to look at it. So we might lose a few people with that mindset. But I think on the flip side of that, I think we'll gain people that are saying, oh, the Turlock commuter is now more reliable to get to Turlock quickly, efficiently. And I think in that we'll gain some plus, gain those guys plus back. Yeah, kind of.
Okay, board, any other questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mr. Prayer.
And hopefully the people that aren't going to Turlock to shop will come to Atwater.
Exactly.
Mike's kind of, he's the alternate.
They
so I
can
needed
still
to-
ride the Turlock commuter the other direction.
Yeah, that's what he was thinking.
But I am going to ask for a certain percentage of my sales tax I drop in Atwater all the time. I should get some sort of rebate.
You guys should all chip in.
Huh? You see me all, yeah. So I should ask for a rebate, so.
And his daughter.
Huh?
And you and your daughter.
Yeah. We try to go to Atwater or Merced anytime we can, so keep it in the county.
Yeah. Although I did see him at Walmart in Turlock one time.
But that means you were there too.
I know, that's why I said it.
You wanted input too on the general,
So yeah, I think we want a little bit of input of, is this the direction that we should continue looking as we move forward? Again, we will discuss this, some of these ideas in October and maybe have a little bit more solid conversation then, but this is trying to get the juices flowing on these ideas. And again, if we think that these are the right directions to be going, or if we should pivot and start looking at broader coverage.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Serenity, so then, it focused mostly just on the east side routes.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to take this approach, then we're going to look at these same types of things on the west side routes?
The west side's a little bit different. Like, we would look at the Los Banos commuter and these same kind of lights. Again, we're not going to vastly chop at it. Or with any of our commuters, we're never going to have a 15-minute frequency, right? That's just unrealistic. But how could we make it a little bit more streamlined to better serve those that are using it? And then we will continue to watch the micro transit on the west side, and if it gets to the point where it seems like it might be able to sustain some fixed routes, and again, we would look at kind of more those direct high traffic corridor fixed routes. Right now, our ridership for the west side micro transit is approximately, I want to say 5.4 passengers per hour, which for a fixed route, you really want to say somewhere around like 6 to 8 passengers per hour. So we'd be watching that and implementing the same strategy ideas as we change services. Yeah.
If you go back a couple slides where you had, keep going before the maps. A little more, right there.
Yeah.
Is there any significance as to why you put Merced right there? Is that where you think we're at?
I think that's closer to where we're at right now. And that's what that's what we kind of need to decide. Where do we want to fall on the spectrum?
Listen, it's frustrating when you see empty buses, right? And we all understand the costs that are associated with having that bus on the road. And so, I'd like to see us get that a little bit more toward the middle, to where we're.
And I think we can, and I think it can be a really good thing for our communities. I think it will be a burden on us, transit, to again educate the communities as we do make some of these changes, and really highlight that yes, you might have to walk, another 2, 3, 4 blocks to get to that bus stop that you used to be able to catch right down the street. But again, it's going to be a better service when you get there. You'll be able to get there quicker, and for more people, that will be the case. So,
and if you're truly transit dependent, and you got to get somewhere, you're gonna adapt, right?
Yeah.
And I think about like maybe some of our disabled folks and whatever. Well, we have all other services that are able to help them. So
Absolutely.
to me, looking at it and trying to dial that into a more in the center is where I'd like to see us go, is finding that happy medium, understanding that you can't have everything. But
well, and I will say, looking at this kind of just the demo, again, this is just something that we've been working on. It's not set in the stone at all, but it is a little bit more of a happy median. We've done some, some mock-ups that are really just focused on these high frequency corridors. And, we we could eliminate many of our routes and, you know, run a much cheaper service, to be honest, but it wouldn't have, you know, kind of some of these outlying connections that people do rely on. So this is kind of a happy median of that without going too far the other way.
Thank you.
And I did just want to kind of, the last comment is that part of why we wanted to have this as a series of conversations is that we want it to be a kind of a policy level discussion or a vision of the board, because when we do make changes and we come to the board for route changes or whatever we have in the future, that there's just a fundamental kind of agreement or understanding as to what our goal is as a transit agency, because these are ultimately going to impact the lives of residents in the community that you all are close to, and to help you kind of have an understanding to where when you get the questions of, hey, the bus doesn't come to my street anymore, you have that built knowledge where you can say, you know, we've been working on this and it's going to be better service, and you have kind of those bullet points in that fundamental understanding. And I appreciate Serenity and Nav and Madi and Navneet and the team who've really been wanting to take kind of a high level view of our system, take a look at it at a high level, and start having policy level discussions about what the goals of the transit agency have been. I know in the 13 years that I've been here, 12 years, I don't know. We haven't had this kind of a conversation. And I think our service is a little, it's trying to do everything, kind of like the M1. It's trying to do everything. And I think Serenity's made a really strong case that we can do a lot of things better with tweaks here and there. For now.
Mr. Pereira?
Thank you, Chair. As one of the board members that over time has kind of said, I hate seeing empty buses, right? I want to thank you and your team for really pressing in. When I think of transit, right, there's two types of people. There's the types that are getting somewhere, they got to be somewhere at a time, right? Mm-hmm. And so, you know, like shaving time off of the commuter route, I mean, I think people are going to appreciate that all day long. There's other people that want to go to the store. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter to them whether they go really at 11 or they go at 10 or whatever. So, you know, just kind of something to keep in mind is, can we make some routes super efficient and run those, you know, whatever, 6 to 9 or whatever, and you know, 4 to 7 or whatever, to get people, commuters going, that kind of thing. The people that ride it every day, right? And then have some filler routes that get people to where they could go shopping, right? Or, you know, when it's not really time sensitive. And
and that's a very good point, and that's one thing that we've been looking at with especially some of our commuters and those that are used more as a commuter. The T route, to be honest, has pretty steady ridership throughout the day. I think initially we had thought there was more of a fluctuation of those true commuter hours, but there's quite a few people that, either it's students that are going to class in the middle of the day or people that are going to shop. But a few of our other commuters, looking at the Planada, and a few, again, we know that those are outlying communities where people are really heavily using it to get to work. So in those, we are going to be looking at, again, should we be running a little bit different services during commute hours versus what we're running all day long? So absolutely, we'll be looking at those types of things.
And then, do you plan to ride the bus, and then while you're riding it, poll the people that are riding it for why are they on the bus, and what would make more sense to them, I guess.
Yes, we actually have a survey that's going out this week, coming up with some of those questions. But as we move into this, and as we move towards some sort of a big system overhaul, if that's what we're going to be doing, we will definitely be going out, getting very detailed public comments, surveys. We'll be trying to get the maps so people can see the changes and make sure that everybody is fully aware, and people can vote on those changes and have input on the changes, I guess, more than voting. But yeah, we definitely plan to be as transparent as possible with the communities. Yeah.
And then, I would just keep reiterating to people that as we make these changes, there's still there's still going to be the paratransit that helps the elderly, the disabled, all those that really need
Yeah, those that can't walk the
specific
extra 3
services.
blocks. Yeah.
If you say, well, they've only got to walk an extra quarter mile, right? Well, to
For some,
somebody on crutches, that's a long ways. But to
Absolutely.
a high school student, that's not very far, right? So anyways, I appreciate all the work. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Board, any other questions?
It's real quick. I think definitely on the right track, and big advantage is you have the numbers. You see who your riders are. Are you having more? We have more transit-dependent folks. They're more choice riders. What's the customer mix, so to speak? And then what are the numbers? Where are you getting a lot of ridership? Where you aren't getting ridership? I think routes like the T, the L can certainly be streamlined. The Merced routes too. I mean, you have certain corridors with more frequent service, and then have transfers. A lot of different ways to do it, but I think I definitely would support moving it. Probably, definitely more towards the ridership folks.
Even it out towards ridership.
Yep. Yeah, especially for two, we got to be balanced and probably a little more towards the ridership even.
Exactly, and each route will be a little bit different. It's not going to be a consistent model across the entirety of our system throughout the county. Yeah.
Before I open it to the public, any other board members' comments? Questions? Before I open it up, I just have a general comment. I understand the efficiency and all that. Sometimes I wonder, is it our bus is empty because there's not enough frequencies that people say, why should I have to spend so much time? I can get there in my car in 20 minutes, but it takes an hour to go through the bus. And, at times, so is it one or the after? Would it increase the frequency by, increase the ridership if you increase the frequency, or does it, if you decrease the frequency, do you lose, like I say, you could lose more riders. So it's kind of like you said, I agree with Mr. Severo, maybe, I wish we could move the dial over to the right, but then there's only so much money, so.
Well, again, and that's where, there trade-offs is what we say will be made. But that's the goal, yeah.
Thank you. And anybody from the public wish to make any comments at this time? Anybody wrote in? Nope. Okay, it is closed to the public. Board, any further questions? It is for discussion, and we'll move on to Executive Director's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Remember, it's your birthday, so not too much talking.
I have 4 announcements, but they're fast. One, the Las Banas, or at Las Banas Fairgrounds, we will have a household hazardous waste collection event on September 19th from 8 to 12. So that's HHW at the Las Banas Fairgrounds, September 19th. Stephanie has flyers. Do you have flyers with you or in the... Okay, you say Stephanie can get the flyer. Well, we can send these out. We also have at the Highway 59 landfill an HHW collection event on October 17th. Both events run 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then Gustine has a community cleanup event on September 26th. This is not HHW, so if you are in Gustine and you have HHW, bring it out to Billy Wright, or no, bring it out to the Las Banas Fairgrounds the weekend before. So, because you have the Las Banas Fairgrounds HHW event September 19th. The following weekend, Gustine has a community collection event, but that's not for HHW. It's just community collection for community cleanup. And then lastly, I just want to thank Stephanie. If you all got your packet of cookies, these are handmade. She stayed up probably longer than she wanted to, from what I hear, but I think they do have nuts. So if you can't have walnuts, proceed with caution. They're delicious. So thank you, Stephanie, and to the whole team who has just done a great job and spoiled me rotten today. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're welcome. The reason I wanted to cut it short, I wanted to get to the cookie as soon as I can.
We do have closed session. So
I know we do. I know we do. Director's report, any directors to report out?
I just wanted, I'll take this opportunity quickly to, as chair, one of my goals we have a really great team in place, and not kind of like, tell me, I'll run the meeting, you guys do your piece, and I think we kind of worked out some stuff, and I know, like, I'm happy, at least for Joy's perspective, we talked about this a little bit before the meeting, of getting our agenda down to one agenda that comes out. I think we found some ways to streamline some stuff in there, and so as future chairs come in, I would encourage you to do the same thing. Thank you.
Any other directors have any comments?
I just want to clear the record. I did not say anything when Stacy started talking. I did not hit a mute button. I have no authority over that. So happy birthday.
Thank you.
Mr. Pereira?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to be over at MCAG, and I don't know if you guys sang Stacy happy birthday or not, but can we do it again just for Stacy? Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Stacy. Happy
Josh.
birthday to you.
Thank you very much.
Was Josh's birthday too?
Well, they make a joke.
It's an ongoing joke.
He's a December birthday.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Or are you just like, thank God it's somebody else now?
Do you want me to make a statement about going into closed session?
Yeah. Now that we've showed our singing voice, I'm going to have legal make a statement about our closed session.
We'll now adjourn into closed session and consider items 15A1, and it's actually B1 and 2. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
We're back in open session. Legal, anything to report?
No, nothing to report out of closed session.
Okay, we are in adjournment, everybody. Thank you.